dynamic early in his career the way he is.
Yeah, I tell you, in their system, he's doing a really good job. You can see that he can process. I think he reads the field well. He has great size. He has arm strength to make all the throws. But he's doing a really nice job just spreading it out, getting all the receivers involved.
There's, it's been said that he goes to the line with a few plays to choose from.
Yes.
Can you tell that on film? And what does that do to a defense?
Yeah. I think systematically, that's how they run that system. When you look at it, you see influences from 3 or 4 different systems in terms of what they're doing. You can see him checking at the line of scrimmage. He'll use signals. I'm not big on that, just kind of play ball, but they are giving him some stuff to do at the line for sure.
We know Greedy had that big interception, and how did you think he played overall for his first really extended action in a couple of years?
Yeah, he's definitely getting better. You can see the progress he's making in practice. I'm always watching him, this DB guy, looking at his technique. So everything's tightening up for him. I think his confidence is really good, and I think that was the matchups was a good game for him to play, just to give him that confidence moving forward.
Kevin said Greg's out this week, but do you feel good about Denzel and Troy being able to go?
Yes, yes.
Did you consider that a more impressive defensive performance than the Bears game?
Really, I'm just happy we won. I mean, I knew going into it there was a tough game. You could see what they were doing in the running game with Delvin Cook. They had the skill players you had to match up against outside, and Kirk Cousins was doing a great job. I don't think he had any interceptions going into the game. So, getting out of there with a win, it was tough the way we started, but then we settled down. That was big for us defensively.
Joe, is your trust in Jeremiah growing by the week?
Yes.
What's he done well over the last couple of weeks that's made that happen?
Everything. Yeah. Just to be honest.
Yeah.
No, I think he's playing well in the run game. When he makes decisions, he makes them fast, and we say he shoots his gun. And then in the pass game, you can see his ability out in space just to make plays, whether he's in coverage or whether he's just making an open field tackle. So, we're doing the same, just systematically, just giving him a little bit more each week. Don't want to put too much on him, but he's definitely earned the right to get some more defenses.
Joe, what effect have your D tackles had? Malik, Jackson,
A lot.
the past couple of games?
A lot. I think when you have the ability to rush off the edge, like we do, you really want to have that inside push so there's no step-up lanes for the quarterback. It also helps you in terms of running pass rush games, just their ability to set picks and run different things. So they've really helped just with their presence inside and what they're able to do.
Along those lines, is Malik J the perfect guy for Malik M since he's kind of been around the block a few times? And
Yes. And I was with Malik in Denver. He was there with Vaughn and DeMarcus Ware and Chubb and those guys. Or he left before Chubb got there. But just the ability to work with guys like that and just to figure out, what games to use, how to communicate. And he's a guy that he's learned from being around those guys just to really help the younger guys or the new guys with what we're trying to do.
Hey, Joe, outside looking in, you guys have that historic performance against the Bears, but, it was a rookie quarterback. We all wonder,
Right.
is this something you guys can replicate or keep the momentum going?
Right.
So, what do you think that you guys showed yourselves against the Vikings? They were rolling on offense headed in. It was at their place. I mean, do you think that did something for the overall confidence?
For sure. I think, the game against Chicago, it's just one of those games. I haven't been involved in many games like that. Probably won't be involved in many after that, just like 1 yard and all that stuff. But I think to come back the next week and play against a really good football team and be consistent, just in terms of executing and making plays, I think that's what's going to provide a lot of confidence. And when you can see them stack that back-to-back weeks, now you go into this third week and say, hey, let's continue with what we're doing. I think the guys really buy in and believe in what we're trying to get done.
Joe, the Chargers have two pretty tall wide receivers in Allen and Williams. Is there anything, I mean, Greedy's a little taller for a corner. Is there anything you emphasize this week just facing bigger wide receivers?
No, you just understand what their strengths are. I faced those guys when I was in Denver. So I saw them twice a year, so I know who they are. I feel confident in our matchups, but it's going to be tough. I mean, we're going to have to be on top of it technique-wise. We're going to have the ability to make the plays on the 50-50 balls down the field, and those guys do a great job in space, just in terms of getting yards after contact. So we're going to have to do really everything well to play good against them.
In this past game, the big dive, we've been seeing it more and more. Unfortunately, Ronnie then had
Yeah.
to leave the game, so it was more
Yeah.
Grant.
Just specifically about that, is that where you would like it to be right now, or is there even more to get to?
There's more. Yeah, for sure. There's more. But again, you just want to introduce things slowly. We put a couple different personnel packages on the field. We have a couple more left. But you really want to try to dictate the matchups in the game, and that's what I like about it. I think we have flexibility at the nickel position. We have flexibility at the dime position in terms of what we want to create. So we'll continue to do that, but we won't put too much on their plate.
Are there signs to you that turnovers are about to happen?
I'm hoping. You know what I mean? That's an area that we definitely have to improve. I think some of the other areas we're getting better, but for whatever reason, I mean, I know we got a lot of sacks, but you want to turn over the ball. You want to take it away because it changes the game, and we haven't been able to do that. We're putting emphasis on it in practice. We'll continue to do that, and hopefully they start coming in bunches.
Joe, going back to Malik McDowell, just to kind of put it in perspective, this is a guy that hadn't played a football game for 4 years.
Right.
Does that make it even more impressive that he's starting for you guys and making an impact?
Yeah, that says a lot about him. He's come a long way, and he's a sponge. You know, and having those veteran guys around him helps him. Whether it's Malik Jackson or your Miles, just all those guys, just giving them advice on what to do, how to prepare, the ability to communicate with them on the field because he's picking things up, you know, and they help him out. But it's very impressive what he's been able to do. Just his limited time, really, just playing football, getting back into football.
And then you told us a couple of weeks ago you thought maybe Denzel was trying to do too much. Kind of from where we were sitting, it looked like that might have been his best game on Sunday of the season. Is that a good assessment?
Yeah, I think he had 4 targets and he had 3 plays, 3 PBUs. The one down the field, he has to play a little bit better technically, but he made the same play later on. And, you know, by saying he's doing too much, I think when you press and you try to make plays, if you just execute your technique, then the plays will come. And that was the biggest thing just talking to him is just worry about your technique and you'll be in position to make plays.
How did Anthony look yesterday, his first day back? Walker?
He looked good. You know, he was probably a little winded, just a little bit. But, you know, we're smart about how many reps we try to give those guys as they come back. And we'll do that in terms of the game. You know, we'll put a number on them just so, you know, in the game that, you know, tempo, you're sticking your foot in the ground, the acceleration's a little bit faster. So we'll make sure we're careful with that. But in terms of understanding the defense, being the quarterback of the defense, he just fell right back where he was at before he left or before he got injured.
When the front 4 guys were getting home, or sometimes you were rushing 3 and they were still getting some pretty significant pressure, how much does that change for you as the caller there? How much does that change what you do as far as your game plan goes?
Yeah, it's nice to have that. You know, when you can get home, and it depends on what they're trying to do offensively. In terms of their protection schemes, you know, chip protection, max protection, you know, sometimes you have to bring pressure to try to get them off of that. So it just depends what they're doing offensively, but I like having the ability to play coverage or to bring pressure. It just makes you feel good and gives you a lot of flexibility.